What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan President Tsai says China's internal challenges mean it's unlikely to be considering an invasion of Taiwan.
The Chinese leadership at this juncture is overwhelmed by its internal challenges. And my thought is that perhaps this is not a time for them to consider a major invasion of Taiwan.
Tsai told the New York Times that China is facing internal economic problems. She also said the international community has made it clear that peace and stability is in everyone's interest. China considers Taiwan as part of its territory, but Taiwan says only its people can decide the country's future. Taiwan's envoy to the European Union and Belgium, Alexander Yu, has been named the country's de facto ambassador to the United States. He takes over the U.S. role from Bi Qingshan, who stepped down last week to run as the vice presidential candidate for Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party. The heat is on for Taiwan's presidential candidates. They're now hitting the trail, letting some of Taiwan's most impactful voters know where they stand on the issues. TaiwanPlus reporter Jeremy Olivier went to see how one group, Taiwan's workers, could vote in January.
A local tragedy that became a national conversation. A devastating fire in Taiwan South in September killed 10 people, including 4 firefighters. It brought attention to the dangerous conditions these workers face and spurred protests over Taiwan's labor laws, which prevent public employees like them from forming unions. Now, with January's presidential elections edging ever closer, labor groups want to know the candidates' positions on labor rights. A group of the country's biggest trade unions invited all 3 hopefuls to appear back-to-back on the same stage in Taipei to clarify their stances.
此次要求候选人回答的5个问题：退休要保障，并购要协商，劳权要完整，劳工要加薪，转型要公正。
First to take the stage was the Democratic Progressive Party's Lai Ching-te, Taiwan's current vice president. In the wake of the firefighters' protests, Lai was the only candidate that did not voice clear support for their efforts to unionize. This time, he was more direct.
我是支持现在行政院已经送到立法院审议的，更加的放宽，公务人员可以筹组特种协会，而且也松绑，更进一步的松绑警消，还有其他的公务人员可以筹组特种协会以外，也可以有更多团体协约权的权利。
The Kuomintang's Hou Youyi called attention to Taiwan's low wages. He said if he's elected, he'll raise the minimum wage to a little over $1,000 a month. He'd also offer more incentives for companies that raise worker salaries.
政府挺企业，企业挺员工。只要企业为员工加薪，政府就为企业减税。
Last was former Taipei Mayor Ko Wen-je of the Taiwan People's Party. Instead of making promises about better pay, Ko pointed to issues within Taiwan's education system.
这个青年失业是一个问题，不过那个主要是我们应该技职教育没有做好的，那个实习没有做好，所以通常毕业以后他也不晓得干什么，所以有一段时间会空出来，包括又去念研究所，我觉得那个是延后失业的时间。
After all the candidates had made their case, organizers held an informal poll, asking the audience and those watching online who they backed most. Despite previous negative remarks he's made about labor, Ko Wen-je was voted as the one who best represents their interests. To some, it came as a surprise.
Part of it goes back to Ko Wen-je's anti-establishment appeal, in that many of his supporters actually don't know his policies or cannot name them, but they support him on the basis of his personality. And so this is in turn a very kind of populist style of campaigning by Ko Wen-je.
And although Ko was able to win this crowd over, a lot can happen in a short time. Taiwan's main political parties are known for being pro-business. But events like this show that workers represent a major voting bloc, one that will have a big say in who takes office next year. Patrick Chen, Yvonne Yang, and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
Around 400 startups have gathered at an annual conference in Taipei. On offer this year is AI's practical applications from human resources to legal services. Leslie Liao reports.
By definition, human resources traditionally relies on human intelligence. But what happens when artificial intelligence can do it better? This software is designed to help employees figure out the best way to use their time off. It's one of the products on display at the Meet Taipei Startup Festival, a yearly conference dedicated to showing off new ideas from young companies. Aside from managing human resources, the AI tech here is said to help generate, vet, and interpret business contracts.
可能今天我们双方谈好的一些条件，在这里告诉 AI 是什么，那 AI 就会自动的帮我们去生成这样子的一个合约草稿。那法务就只要进去做微调跟修订就好了。
AI is also being touted for its use in marketing. The creators of this program say by inputting a few keywords and uploading pictures of a product, it can generate a sales video.
以前需要花1个月3个人力，总薪资至少要超过15万元，你才能做完一个产品的文案、图片、影片，甚至是一个网页介绍。现在已经浓缩到同样是1个月，但只需要一个刚毕业的大学生，再搭配我们的这套工具。
This year's festival is an exploration of the future. And if these startups are any indicator, the future is AI. Justin Wu and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
A tourist from Thailand arrested at Taiwan's main international airport has been charged with smuggling illegal drugs. It's the 15th such case this year. Officers found heroin worth millions of US dollars in the suspect's carry-on luggage. Police say the man used to work in Taiwan and was recruited by drug dealers to be a mule. The plan was to join the tour group to Taiwan and drop off the package for money. Drug smuggling from Southeast Asian countries has been a problem since Taiwan reopened its borders after the COVID-19 pandemic. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, scientists in Taiwan developed a traditional medicine to combat the virus. As Laura Stewart reports, they now say it's effective against other cold and flu strains.
这是那个清冠1号
Traditional Chinese medicine made here in Taiwan. Called NRICM 101, this formula was created during the pandemic to treat COVID-19. And it's since been used around the world to combat the disease. Now scientists say tests show it's effective against different types of flu as well, and it can also help battle bacterial infections.
这些外来的病原进到身体以后，身体启动的免疫反应呢，都是通过类似的作用机制啊。以前我们把细菌跟病毒分得很清楚，细菌要用抗菌药、抗生素，病毒也要用抗病毒药。清冠1号、2号呢，都可以在这些发炎的机制上去把它抑制。
The medicine's formula is a multi-target treatment made up of 10 different plants. It was originally made to stop the COVID-19 virus entering the body's cells. If the virus happens to get into the cell, the medicine prevents them from multiplying and also keeps the immune system from attacking itself. And now, if the medicine is used against regular cold and flu, scientists say it won't cause the viral and bacterial strains to become drug resistant.
因为多靶点，所以比较不会去担心抗药性的这些病毒株的反应。因为他们是单一靶点的一个治疗，所以其实会有一点不同。
As winter arrives in Taiwan and cold and flu start to circulate, the drug's creators hope it will let the public breathe a little easier. John Su and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
Two of the largest lanterns in Taiwan's history are now on display in the country's central Changhua County. The lanterns are 3 meters tall and took 8 months to make. Award-winning artist Tang Qiushui has devoted 6 decades to lantern art. His latest creation is bigger than his personal and national records, and he aims to make the world's largest lantern. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, we leave you with footage of Christmas light shows from around the world. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.